Farming, it's one of the oldest things we humans do. But right now, it's going through maybe its biggest shakeup ever. Today, we're going to dive deep into the world of agrotech startups. These are the companies using everything from AI and robots to wild new biology to totally rewrite the rules of how we grow our food.
So when I say farm, what pops into your head? Probably, green fields, maybe a red barn, a tractor chugging along. But take a look at this. This is what farming is becoming. It's a world where drones, data, and dashboards are just as important as the dirt and the sun. It's a whole new ballgame.
So what's the deal? Why this massive push to fuse this ancient practice with super high-tech gear? Well, the simple answer is we have to. We're up against a challenge so big, so immense, that we have no choice but to completely rethink how we do agriculture. We're basically living through a new agricultural revolution. All these huge global pressures are creating the perfect conditions, you could say fertile ground, for some serious innovation. And it really all boils down to one single number: 10 billion people. That's how many mouths we're going to have to feed by 2050. And let's be real, trying to do that with the way we farm now, it's just not going to happen. It's simply not possible.
But you know how it goes. Where there's a huge challenge, there's usually a huge opportunity. And man, is that true here. The agrotech market is absolutely exploding. We're talking a projected value of almost $50 billion by 2030. So this isn't just about feeding people. It's a massive business frontier.
And here's something that might surprise you. When you think about who's at the heart of this whole food system, it's not just giant corporate farms. Get this, a third of all the food on the planet is grown by smallholder farmers. So if this tech revolution is going to work, really work, it has to be for them too.
All right, so let's pull back the curtain. Let's go inside the digital farm and meet some of the innovators who are actually building this future.
Okay, so one of the biggest game changers is this idea of precision. Think about it. For decades, if you had a weed problem, you just spray the whole field. It's like using a fire hose to water a single plant. But now, new tech is letting farmers be, surgical. We're talking AI and robots that give machines the power to see and treat every single plant one by one.
And this isn't just theory. Check this out. You've got companies like Eco Robotics in Switzerland, Green Eye Tech in Israel. They've built these incredibly smart sprayers. They use computer vision to tell the difference between a crop you want and a weed you don't. And the result? It's insane. They can slash herbicide use by up to 90%. 90! That's a massive win for the environment. And you better believe it, it's a huge win for a farmer's wallet.
But it gets even wilder than that. Beyond just being precise, some of these startups are tackling sustainability in ways that honestly sound like they're straight out of a sci-fi movie. They're making us question the very basics of what you need to grow food.
Okay, just look at these two. Over in Saudi Arabia, you have Red Sea farms. They're figuring out how to grow crops with salt water. Think about what that means for dry, arid parts of the world. It's incredible. Then you've got Windfall Bio in the US. They've found a way to grab methane, a really nasty greenhouse gas from farms, and turn it right back into fertilizer, right there on the farm. It's the ultimate recycling program, a perfect circular economy.
Now, it's not all high-tech robots and mind-bending biology. Maybe the biggest change of all is coming from something you have in your pocket right now, your smartphone. Yep, digital platforms are finally closing this huge information gap that's held back small-scale farmers for generations.
And this is happening everywhere. In India, a platform called DHAT is a one-stop shop for millions of farmers, giving them advice, connecting them to markets, the whole shebang. Another one, FPO Grow, helps farmer groups manage their entire process, from farm to fork. Then you jump over to Uruguay, where Nurturefield gives farmers real-time data to save water and keep their soil healthy. What's the big takeaway? Tech is leveling the playing field. It's becoming a force for everyone.
Of course, this kind of crazy innovation doesn't happen for free. It needs serious money. So for this next part, let's do what they always say, follow the money. Let's see who's funding this whole revolution.
If you look at a big agritech hub like India, the money trail tells a really interesting story. More than half of all the investment, 53%, has gone into something called market linkage. What's that? It's basically startups that help farmers sell their crops better and more directly, cutting out the middlemen who take a huge cut. So that tells you right away what investors think is the biggest problem to solve: logistics and the supply chain. But the party might be slowing down a bit. The whole investment scene is shifting.
After this huge boom, funding took a pretty big dip in 2023. Investors are getting way pickier. They're calling it a flight to quality. And this quote from Stefan Dolezalek at Grosvenor Food and Ag Tech just nails the new mood. He says they focus on impact at scale. Basically, the days of getting millions of dollars for just a cool idea on a napkin are over. Now you have to prove it. You have to show that your tech works, that farmers actually love it, and this is the big one, that you can scale it up to make a real, measurable difference. We're talking hard numbers, like showing exactly how much water you saved or how much more food a farmer grew.
So where does that leave us? What's the road ahead look like? Let's wrap this up by looking at the biggest opportunities and the biggest roadblocks on the path to harvesting the future. And it really is a tale of two sides. On the one hand, the opportunities are just massive. We're talking about empowering small farmers, building a truly sustainable food system, and using data to be way, way more efficient. But the challenges? They're no joke. You've got that funding winter we mentioned, tangled webs of regulations, good old-fashioned skepticism from farmers who've seen it all, and one really big one, the digital divide.
And this digital divide thing is so important to understand. It's the gap between people who have access to modern tech and those who don't. I mean, you can design the world's greatest AI farming app, but what good is it if the farmer you're trying to help can't get a decent internet signal or doesn't know how to use it? Closing that gap isn't just a nice idea, it's absolutely critical for any of this to work.
So that leaves us with this final, massive question. The tech we need to feed 10 billion people and heal our planet, it's not a fantasy anymore. It's here. People are building it right now. The challenge is shifted. It's not about inventing anymore. It's about implementing. So the real question is, can we make these incredible tools accessible, affordable, and trustworthy for every single farmer on the planet? Because really, the future of how and if we eat, well, it all hangs on that answer.